Hello, hello. How's everyone doing today? Little YDBT Daily. Trying to get you as much content as possible. I don't think I'm gonna be able to keep up 5 days a week. It's just too much work. Working a full-time job and doing this. I mean, I'd like to try, but it's very difficult. Trust me. Like personal life has taken a back seat with this, with all these shows that I'm doing. But we'll see. We'll see how long I can sustain it for. Today, I'd like to talk about the Mach E GT or the Mach E. Sorry, pretty much selling line on line with gas powered Mustangs. And what does that mean? What it means is whatever you think about electric cars, whatever you think about how they're soulless, they're dumb, they're stupid, they're here and they're here to stay and they're not going anywhere. And that's the future. Plain and simple. Now, a lot of you guys probably go, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Alex. No, nobody in my area has those things. If you live in Missouri, fucking Montana, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Virginia, North, South Carolina, anywhere that isn't Texas, California, New York, Florida. No shit. Nobody lives there. Like if you look, is there a night USA at night? You know, when you look at satellite imagery of the USA at night, and then y'all motherfuckers ain't shit. Let me see it. Download preview. Can I download a preview? Oh, forget it. There goes that. I just want to see a fucking picture. Thank you very much. So yeah, this is what the well, I never see it in my area, and your stupid ass lives here or here, right? It's Houston, right? Atlanta, some of the Charlotte, New York, Albany, and Florida. And you guys over here in like El Paso, some shit ass this, Oklahoma shit ass, everything. Oh, I don't never see it around my neck of the woods, so I don't know what the fuck you're talking. I've never seen a Tesla around here. Teslas must not be selling that well because I don't see any around here. You fucking clown. You fucking clown. You just go out to civilization and you'll see all this shit. I see these things all the time. We'll talk about it. We'll also talk about Second Shift Racing's video showcasing Real Teal running 7's stick shift H pattern with a high compression 351 base 9.5 deck car. And nitrous, no turbos. Good shit, good shit. So we'll say hi to the people here as always. Get to it, get after it. We got D-Rock Fox, Diego Flores, Clip Clop the Horse. Now, a lot of people say that they don't like me mentioning the names. You know you like your name being mentioned, trust me. John Luke, Slow 99, Second Shift Racing, always checking in. Eliza's S550, Jason Fradberg, Wesley Stewart, Rich 50, Matt Jones, Tony, White Devil, Franco Olervides, Salman Mackey. Here for the bump in pre-show, Forrest Cloud, Blake Bailey, Edgar Sanchez, Fresh Pasteles, Dunstan Angler, 32 Valve, ARX DMS, Killa, Phil, JD Swag the Mod, YouTube here, I think I already said YouTube, Dustin Angler, Israel Rios, Phil, and everyone else that decided to hop in nice and early, talking a little shit, and we'll talk about it. Now, a lot of people think revolutions happen very obviously. And if you look back in history, the American Revolution was a slow building, percolating thing. And what brought it over the tipping point was the Boston Tea Party. But before that, there was years and years and years of people being anti-British, people doing a whole bunch of stuff and then the British would notice and they'd try to jump in and calm things down, and people still would act up. They tried different taxes. They tried a bunch of different things. And what brought it over the top was a tax on basically purchasing anything, not a sales tax. It's almost like a use tax. And that really pissed everybody off. Why am I mentioning this? Because revolutions are not a black and white thing. It's not one day to the next. It's a slow percolating kind of thing. And it's something like throwing or starting like a snowball effect. You start a snowball, you cannot stop. You cannot stop the thing from growing. It's just going to happen. So you can fight it all you want. You can like the sale of a Palm Beach International Raceway. That bitch was been sold. when y'all motherfuckers started doing petitions for it. I'm like, that's been sold. It's gone. Electric cars are here. The fastest, quickest production car on the planet is a Tesla sedan. When the Roadster comes out, it's going to be 850 fucking 820 car. It's going to be stupid. It's going to 0 to 60 like in the 19s. And then, you know, you're going to have to deal with it. Oh, not in my neck of the woods. You live in Oklahoma. There's nothing there but yee trucks. And if you want to go to the supermarket, you got to drive 30 minutes. Ain't shit there. Of course you're not going to see shit depending on where you live. I had a guy come down here, deliver a diff for my white car. And he's like, I can't believe there's this many Teslas down here. I'm like, where the hell do you live? I think it was Virginia or West Virginia. And I was like, dude, there's Lambos, there's Teslas, there's M5s, there's BMW fucking, there's Taycans. There's everything here. And it's just in the corner of North Lake and Military. It's just a ridiculous car show depending on what you're used to. So we have to get used to it. Now, I still think that the hybrid technology is better than electric 100%. Which Porsche was it that did some ridiculous stuff? Oh, someone got shot. Porsche, I think it was a Porsche 919. I think it was the quickest Porsche in around the Nürburgring. Someone dead as fuck. Yeah, the 5 minute and 19 second Nordschleife pass or run or whatever that this thing did was pretty stupid. And it was a hybrid. It was a hybrid. And I always thought to myself, how come people aren't pushing hybrid? Why are they pushing fully electric? Like fully electric. I don't know. I think an all-wheel drive Mustang would be super badass. I've always talked about hybrid technology, how I love it, how a 500 horsepower, 500 pound-feet of torque Mustang would be insanely desirable. And apparently, no one's interested in that. They're interested in sticking the dick all the way in or nothing. I'm like, wait a minute, you went right to full electric, not hybrid, not a bridge? So no. Apparently, the government, which is full of fucking retards, is mandating, and people in charge in the background, and Ford and Dodge and Chevy are going along with it because I'm sure they like that government money. It's fucked up. Super fucked up. So the revolution's here. We either got to put up with it or not. So cars that are exempt from shit like that are heavy duty trucks, like an F-350, F-450, sports cars like a GT500, C8, Viper, all exotic Italians. You're always going to have those, but the vast majority of daily driven vehicles to get you to and from work are probably going to end up being electric in about 10 years, but like the vast majority. That's what it looks like, because you know how technology just flies ahead year to year. Like, you remember when phones were big like this because they had to be, and now they're big like this because they want to be? Yeah, and the amount of technology in this phone is more technology than there was in the first, what do you call it? The lunar lander. Like, by far, this thing has more technology than the lunar lander. So in 10 years, you're going to see, now robots are fucking. Okay. Did you guys see that article where robots are now fucking and creating life? You're going to get cheating robots. You're going to get robots that are in the danger zone. Robots are going to have to experience being ghosted and shit. It's going to be an interesting thing when robots start fucking and have human issues. That'll be interesting. So we'll talk a little bit about it. What do you guys think? Am I full of shit? Is in 10 years, are the majority of cars on the road going to be electric? Yes or no? I say yes. Because if you ask me, all I really need is really 3 cars: a truck, a daily, and a race car. My daily would be electric. I'd be stupid to get a gas electric. Gas daily. Oh, yeah. Trifling ass robots. You guys didn't hear about that? Robots procreate, reproduce. So that means they excrete them from their asshole. The Washington Post. Watch them make me sign up. Watch these motherfuckers make me sign up. No? So far, so good. Okay. The robots are alive and now they can reproduce. That's not a sequel to the Terminator. It's the result of new research showing that microscopic life forms made of frog stem cells can self-replicate and not weigh. The xenobots, named after the African frog Xenopus laevis, from which they are made, could already move around, display collective behavior. They're fucking. Robots are fucking. It'll be very soon by the time Boston Dynamics has sex robot Pornhub. Could you imagine robots fucking like I mean, there's already a doggy style robot, right? There's literally like a doggy style robot. So I can't imagine. I don't know how the hell we got on this case, but there's already doggy style. Could you imagine a robot doing a perfect flip on that dick? You broke my heart. Oh, let me just pause this bullshit. Imagine a robot doing a perfect flip en ese bicho. Oh, man. I mean, precision. I mean, I don't know if the whole... I mean, these things probably weigh... Could you imagine? You imagine this thing grabbing a hold of you? Imagine sex-addicted robots. Sex-addicted robots would be the most ridiculous shit you've ever seen. So I'm telling you, imagine these things go around fucking just taking you by force. Oh, then they got to take it to the Supreme Court. Oh, fuck. Alex just went off the deep end. Are there gay robots asking for a friend? Right. Nurture or nature. Until the government says electric is bad, LOL. Clear your history, bitch. Why? It's all good. It probably says Pornhub and a whole bunch of bullshit. Let me see what it says here. Yeah, Inbox and Porsche and Pornhub. Yeah, it probably has all this bullshit in there. Is the robot self-cleaning though? That's important. Exactly. Could you imagine that? Get your robot girlfriend financed here. That's what the government wants. Is your daily electric and long travel weekend fun car begins. And is the robot, I already got that. No longer need for women. Beat you off to a whole new level. A 1,200-pound robot sticks 10 out of 10 landings on the bitcho. Gay robots riding Rangers. I mean, could you imagine? Could you imagine? So look, electric is here. Electric's here to stay, and robots are fucking. Like, could you imagine 10 years ago saying those sentences? A lot of you guys are well into your 30s and 40s, right? And you would have never thought in 2011, when the Coyote Mustang came out, that the majority of the cars on the road might end up being electric and robots are fucking. Like, I was blown away when Boston Dynamics was trying to give these things like... No. It wasn't Boston Dynamics. It was another company that was making... I think it was IBM, where they were giving a machine consciousness. And I'm like, no. Don't do that. You didn't see iRobot? You didn't see Terminator? You didn't see any of that bullshit? Like, you literally didn't see these movies that tell you not to do that shit because it's going to be a problem in the future? Stop it. These movies have already told us what's going to happen if you give them consciousness. They're going to blow us up because that's the only way to protect us. And they're right. They would be 100% right. If it was up to you, would you switch the white car to a TVS? Nope. It would stay centrifugal forever. For a stick car, daily quick car, centrifugal to me is desirable. TVS, nah. I mean, IATs are hotter. The power delivery of a TVS drops off after about 6,800 RPM. Centrifugals just keep going up in power. I just like the throttle feel better, less throttle issues with a stock throttle buddy than look, how many of you have gotten a TJ69 and have had a P2119 code or a P2112 code or a CJ65 that fail safes or a Twin 60 that fail safes? No, thank you. Stock throttle body life, bro. New use for Furman. How's the relationship with the robot's father? Imagine the relationship if the creator, look, you guys aren't Star Trek nerds, but I'm a next generation nerd. And Data's father, Dr. Noonien Soon, didn't really meet or he wasn't really in Data's life. And Data, his whole life, was just looking for some kind of father figure. His whole freaking life. And he was always missing something. Then he tried to create a life, lull, and it died because he didn't know how to... he didn't know how to nurture the motherfucker. Oh no, he just... the positronic matrix wasn't stable. I know way too much about Star Trek. Don't get me started. I've been looking forward to a chat later today after 200 stops and 289 packages. FedEx driver. Damn. Tony, what's up, buddy? What's going on, man? What's up, little man? Say hi to the people here. They want to see. I haven't seen you in forever. Oh, what's up, little man? Big man, actually. How you doing, man? He's been really good. Totally house trained. Like 100% completed his house training. Has not pooped or shit in this house. He never shit in this house until the first day. But now he's totally house trained and he's 6 months, almost 6.5 months old, and he's totally house trained. And he's getting me that complex girl because he plays with her dogs all the time. Hey yo. In the 90s, I had a book called Cars Detroit Never Built. That was an eye opener back then. I'd like to see that now we're 30 years down the line. Interesting to hear. Thank you. EV sports cars will come in waves from Dodge. Just watch, as soon as the Hellcat dies out, cloud chasers will be all over the new EV cars, even though they swore their Cobra was the shit, but buy a plug cat. Right. What would be the name of a Hellcat that is electric? I have no idea. I mean, I don't know. What would be a good name for an electric performance like SRT, which is not going to be a thing anymore, but you know, like SVT isn't a thing anymore. Now it's Ford Performance. What would be the name of a Hellcat? I don't know. But give me the man pedal, like people. Give the man, I like people. He's making us laugh for fuck's sake. Yeah, exactly. 227 people on 162 likes. Come on, you fucks. Just hit the like button. That's all I need you to do. Hit the like button, and I'm a happy guy. And look, I got to work on plan B in case the EPA has their fucking way. Do you think our power grid systems will be able to handle all the new electric vehicles? Yeah. Mike Rasovic, yeah. There's going to be a cause and effect. So let's say for the first time ever, electric car sales in whole outpaces gas car sales, which they will, because eventually they're going to have to phase them out. That will force the United States to pass new infrastructure laws to heavily integrate solar, hydroelectric, nuclear. The power demand is going to be so high that it's going to reboot a complete different set of bills that face or tackle the issue of our energy needs, because now they'll be different. Now, homes are still going to look. Americans, by and large, keep the AC on all the time. If you live in any warm state, you and I both know the AC has never been off. How many of you guys live in Florida, South Florida, Texas? Oh, Texas freezes. Mostly South Florida. But a lot of us keep it at 72. And that sucker turns off and on its own. If it's hotter than 72, if it's colder than 72 outside, that bitch stays off. But if it gets cooler, if it gets hotter, it automatically stays on. So we have a huge demand for energy. Now, EV vehicles come in and you need 220 plugs, 110 plugs. You need supercharger stations. You need remote mounted battery packs, battery backups. There's going to be a huge industry, not only for battery production. That's why Tesla is in a great position to actually make a shitload of batteries. And they are opening a plant in Canada. That's right. Canada, that has all of the raw materials you need to mine, to most of them anyway. He struck a deal with the Canadian government to have a massive plant make a shit ton of batteries up there because it is closer to the raw materials that they need to actually make the battery. Look it up. I've done all my research. So look, it's going to be a thing. Battery production, electric motor, the technology is going to advance so quick that in about 20 years, you're going to start seeing cheap electric cars. I guarantee it, guys. You're going to start seeing Yugo size smart car electric that may get 300-mile range and cost $25,000 to $35,000. It's just going to happen. And that's when the argument stops, whether electric is viable or not. If the infrastructure is upgraded over about 30 to 40 years, which is going to have to happen, they're going to have hybrid vehicles, but they're still going to have, the vast majority will be electric if the infrastructure, the current infrastructure, I don't think is going to be able to handle it. But who in the fuck is going to keep the infrastructure like that? They already are looking to pass an infrastructure bill, aka a complete Democrat wish list, but who cares? They're going to, eventually they got to put something into infrastructure, and it's something that I think it's just going to happen, period, whether you like it or not. Because if you love sci-fi like I do, we are meant to completely change, like whatever you're used to in your area. If you like trees, if you like fucking woods, that's all going to be gone. We're going to look like one big, massive city. It's just going to be concrete left and right, and only certain zones will still be quote unquote green. But at the end of the day, the whole fucking of the United States is going to end up being one big freaking factory in about 50 to 60 years, maybe 70 years. Congrats on rolling over 59,000 subscribers. I'm a 970 away from 60,000, and that'd be pretty cool. I didn't think I'd ever get to 20,000, 30,000, 40, but 60,000 is cool. I understand it's not as much as most, but the amount of views and minutes watched per person, like average minutes watched, is 20. Think about that, guys. The average minutes watched on this channel is 20. Everyone else is releasing 13-minute videos, and their average watch is 7 to 8. Mine is 20. So that means people stick around at least 20 minutes, highest to lowest. And that means the revenue per minute is favorable, in my opinion. And it's just me. I don't have to cut my profit, cut anyone in on the profit that I make. It's all me. The Model 3 is already kind of budget EV for Tesla. Base model is $30,000, I think. Check out what General Motors is doing in Spring Hill, Tennessee. That 6,000 sucks. Is it true Ford is dropping the new GT500 next year? No, I think they're going to be around for at least 3 more years, in my opinion. Most factory motors are 480. They make some big power. Read an article where I think PA was seeing a 50% increase in monthly electricity costs due to EV charging. Watch them price gouge our electricity bills. Absolutely. Absolutely. But think about it. If you were to offset the cost of oil changes, boy, I think that's it. Oil changes. And gas. So how much gas do you use a day? How much, if you travel, let's say you drive 40 minutes to work every day. That's 4 times 5. That's 200, twice. So 40 minutes to and back. That's 80 miles a day times 5. That my math says that's like 1 million. Over 400 miles a week. Okay? 400 miles a week, that's depending on the car you use, a tank and a half. Tank and a half right now is probably $90. $90 times 4, 36. Oh my God. It's $360 a month, potentially, if you live 40 minutes away from your job, that you're spending just on gasoline just to get to and from work. Never mind weekend trips, never mind leisure, never mind other things. So if your electric bill goes up $100 a month, but your car gets charged and it can do that trip no problem, but all you have to pay is another $100 a month, you're saving $200 plus, $260. Some people don't do the math that way. Some people just get hell bent on, oh, my electric bill went up. Yes, but you're saving $260 from the 100 that it went up. Come on, stop it. You will get there. Congratulations, Coca-Cola and Alfredo Diaz say that. Phil says, damn, 60K, that's badass, pretty close. 261 viewers, 190 likes. Let's get the likes up. Yes, let's get the likes up. They will pass a bill to force new construction to have solar and battery packs. From South Carolina south, it will be its own grid. I agree. Our infrastructure is garbage and falling apart. So yeah, they're gonna have to address it. We know that. Everyone knows that. The government cannot mandate auto manufacturers to make electric cars and then fail to enact bills, laws, and plans to accommodate their mandate of making the auto manufacturers make electric vehicles. So it's here, guys. It's here. It's here. We thought it was going to take 10 to 20 years. It's here. Electric cars are here. The vast majority of, well, not mass majority, but goddamn it, here where I live, Porsche Taycans, everything is hybrid. Even the super high-end vehicles, they're hybrid. Teslas are everywhere here, everywhere. So guys, it's here. It's here. You're just gonna have to get used to it. That's all. No big deal. Yes, my Tundra cost me like $3,500 a year to give an EV truck. Give me an EV truck and call me gay. Exactly, because all you're doing is to get to and from work. Or use it. I'm sure the government will find a new way to tax us. 12-minute video, average watch time is 6:30 for us. There you go. So your average watch time is 6:30 for a 12-minute video. My average watch time is 19.7 if I'm not mistaken. Let me go. I'll go look. YouTube Studio, just so you guys don't think I'm full of shit, because a lot of you guys might think I'm full of shit. Actually, if I hover over the 60,000 or the 59,000 number, I think it tells you your average. Yeah, check it out. So I was wrong. It's not 20. It's 19. So 1904, right here. If you look down here, 19 minutes, and you can see a graph of, minutes watched, subscribers. So it was like -2 Thursday, then +5, +5, +11, +8. So I average about 131 a month. I used to average like almost 1,000 at its peak, but that's when YouTube really started pushing it. Then I started swearing like a son of a gun, and that was that. YouTube said, let's not push this channel anymore because it's not kid friendly, and that's how it goes. Time for the Fembots from Austin Powers to make an appearance. Oh, behave, says Scarlett Stang. Kanye Asada, been a member for 10 months. Thank you, sir. Yo, Alex, so do you believe there are aliens, or if the government has aliens hidden for testing? Would love to know your input. I believe they're amongst us already, but they would never say, hey, assholes, we're here. I think they make themselves visible to Army, Navy, Air Force equipment, but they're not stupid enough to let us catch them. Imagine we, as humans, enter a ant colony and somehow get captured by it. That's how I think aliens view us. We are just so much more advanced, bigger, faster, smarter than ants, that to get caught by ants, we'd be really fucking stupid or retarded or whatever. So I think aliens are amongst us, and they're just doing shit just for the sake of doing shit, because I think they're just checking us out. Like, I'm blown away. Yesterday I was at the dog park, hanging out, and there was a honeybee on the ground, right? I guarantee a lot of you guys in the chat wouldn't even think a second of just smushing the motherfucker. Oh, look, a bee. Yeah, fuck him. I'm not one of those guys. I see a honeybee and I'm like, it ain't bothering me. It's doing its own thing. I see a spider up in the corner. I'm like, he's killing mosquitoes for me. Leave him alone. A lot of you guys just smush them shits. And I think something's wrong with people like that. The guy that was with me at the dog park, he's like, God, step on it. I'm like, step on it? Step on a honeybee? So imagine if there are aliens out there that just go, step on them, kill them, stick stuff up their ass. So, yeah, I would hope they're better than us. John Cena says, Alex, my Gen 2 Paxton has a misfire, and it's backfiring at idle. I replaced the plugs and coil packs and still doing it. Can a weak fuel pump be the problem? I plugged the AutoZone machine and said, replace fuel pump. No, because I had 2 clogged fuel pumps and a clogged fuel filter, and my car idled wonderfully. So I don't think your misfire has to do with that. Do you have a code? If the car is misfiring, it would typically throw a code, John Cena. If it's not throwing a code, it's not misfiring, you're probably hearing how coyotes sound at idle. Government too big to keep quiet. 2 people can keep a secret. One of them is dead. Good afternoon. Half hour late, but I'm dropping in. L&M engines probably more popular than ever in 15 years. Yeah, I think they're going to be probably not even existing. How old's the guy? How old's the gentleman that runs L&M? He's up there. He's well into his 60s, I think. So I don't even think he'll be around. Oh, please, conspiracy theory shows at the end equivalent to Bumble swipes. I do kill mosquitoes ASAP, though. Mosquitoes can get it because they're attacking me. That's different. They're attacking me. As long as they don't bite or sting me, we good. Exactly. Yellow jackets, mosquitoes, things that attack me. Yeah, I'll kill them shit. A honeybee, a lizard, I'll leave them the fuck alone. Squirrels, I'll leave them alone. What if dogs were aliens and they infiltrated us, laughing my ass off? Very true, second shift. TRD developing hydrogen. They're taking a different approach right now. But the problem is this, right? Actually, yeah, United States car companies are basically beholden to what the government tells them to do. You must produce 70% of your existing, or this many percentage of passenger cars need to be electric. Okay. People that are not in the United States, like Porsche, can go, fuck you. We're going to make our own fuel and make Porsche GT3 RSs and this and that run on our whatever fuel, our synthetic gasoline. And look, the high-end vehicles in the United States usually are not American, all right? You get into a BMW, you get into a Mercedes, you get into a Porsche, you get into these exotic style, higher-end, $100,000+ vehicles that are from Europe or Japan. There is a huge difference. But I'm blown away that Japanese people, actually Chinese people, love Buicks. Could you imagine living in China and you go, I'm not going to make an accent. I get booted. I'd be like, hello, Bob. I would really love a Buick Skylark over here. Why don't you want a Mercedes? Fuck Mercedes, Charlie. I would love a Buick Skylark or Buick Enclave or whatever the fuck they call them. Can you just start over? Just getting here, says 508 Josh. Yes, sir. Aliens came and left after they saw we port throttle bodies. Oh my God. Abso-freaking-lutely. Beep, 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 beep. What is that? It's a Coyote Mustang. What's the guy doing? He's removing it. I think he's porting it. Doesn't he know that the opening for the intake manifold is the exact same size? Is he going to adjust the size of the blade? No. We're out of here. Beep, 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 beep. Never to be seen again. Alex is an alien dropping hints about their existence. EVs is all politics. If anyone thinks it's anything else, they're delusional. Greg M., you're delusional. You're delusional. You think EVs are all about politics? A Tesla is an 8-second sedan that weighs 4,500+ pounds. The Model S Plaid. That's politics. The Roadster is a deep 8-second car with a 500-mile range. That's all politics. A semi-truck can out-accelerate, have a 500-mile range, and out-tow a diesel version of a semi-truck. Is that all politics? No, it's the market and technology catching up. And people like you were the ones that had a horse. It's shitting in your face. And you're like, these horseless carriages are all politics. If you ask me, these are all politics. I still clip-clopping me or riding and dying together. Fuck these horseless carriages. Dating channel tonight, maybe. Not 100%. I'm not feeling all that good, so we'll see. Aliens probably ported the thrusters. Mercedes is popular in Japan. My dad went there for business once, said all the businessmen drove them. Eliza 50 says, Alex, 1,000 horsepower Turbo S197 versus a Gen 3 Vortec V3 A10 Pump 93 Octanium. How bad am I getting gapped on a 40 roll? 2 or 3 buses. 2 or 3 buses. Pretty quickly. If he grips. Let's play Space Invaders and Astronauts. A lot of old-time builders and machinists are retiring. Fox Lake Porting shut down this year. Ron did amazing work. You're going to start seeing that. And again, blacksmiths started going away. Horseshoers started going away. Industries that are dying will have people that maintain them dying. If a blacksmith became a mechanic, if a horseshoer started maintaining cars or got into something modern, you have to adjust with the times. You can't just be hard-headed. You can't be hard-headed. I was a millwright. The kind of work that I did was only good because I worked in Massachusetts. And in Massachusetts, there's certain protections because there's unions, things of that nature. The moment I went to Houston, Texas, I was a nobody. My pay went from 30 something bucks an hour to 12. I went, what? Right. No union protection. You're not special. The work is much harder. Conditions are harsher. Why is that? Cheap labor. They're really close to the border. Guys were in there without papers, getting 12 bucks an hour, killing it. And I was like, I can't blame them. I can't blame the company. If they're here on a work visa, if they're here overstaying their visa and still getting paid, the government doesn't do nothing about it. Nothing I can do. So what did I do? Did I sit there and complain, this is bullshit? No, I changed what I did for a living. I said, it's not going anywhere. I'm not going to make big money down here. I'm going to kill my back, have a missing digit or a broken vertebrae. I'm going to change. And I did. I went from a blue collar job to a white collar job. And if I was hard-headed, I would have stayed back there, busting my ass. To this day, I would have been there busting my ass for maybe 25 bucks an hour, dead as fuck, sweating my ass off every fucking day, hating life. Now, I hate my life, but I make way more money. And I don't have any physical issues. So you know what I'm saying? I just got to deal with flex tunes all day. Tesla added speakers to customize your exhaust sounds. Gapplebees, Fox Lake closed. No way. But the horse has a soul, Alex. Phil, you're on the money. You and I are right here. Yep, Ron retired. Wonder who Fox Lake passed their CNC programming to. Nobody. They probably just shut down. Who wants it? It's weird. Alex, would you consider an electric Mustang coupe if Ford came out with one? Or would you completely done with the Mustang? I'm completely done with the Mustang in its current state. Meaning Coyote and, I'm done. I want a hybrid Mustang. If Mustang came out with a hybrid twin turbo, even if it's a 3.5, even if it's a small V8, like a 4.1 or a 4.3 twin turbo, small turbos, but the internals are pretty damn good based on what they learned with the Gen 3 stuff and Gen 2 stuff, that I can turn up the wick, make 700, and the hybrid motor can pump out 150. That's an instant torque. I mean, that's desirable as hell. Of course I consider that. Alex, I just saw a video of yours on the EV F-150. Would you buy it up if offered by Ford EV retro cars? No, I would not buy that. No, I have no desire. I don't like how the old Fords look. I grew up in the Fox body era, and the cars in the Fox body era were fucking disgusting. Guys, an 88 Taurus was disgustingly ugly. But before then, the cars looked nothing like that. Like, before cars like this were out, Ford had like LTD, like what? Let me see. Did they have like a LTD? Guys, this is what Ford cars looked like before the Taurus. These square body, ugly. This is what all cars looked like before that time, right? So just ugly, nasty. And then when you look at the Taurus, 80s, or even 90s Tauruses, this changed everything. Everything was flush. The headlights were flush. I mean, everything was flush. And then the SHO, this was like super futuristic. You remember RoboCop? Remember RoboCop, what they thought was futuristic cop cars? Tauruses. Yes, RoboCop looked at the Taurus and said, yep, that looks like a future car. We're going to go ahead and shove it in. So, but I didn't love the way it looked back then. The only things I liked back then were Fox body Mustangs. That's it. I didn't care what Ford put out there. So I'm not like a Ford supporter. All right. I'm a Mustang supporter. Trucks looked like ass back then. 88 F-150. You guys might think this is hot. I think this looks like a complete pile of fucking trash. Trash. Now, you gave me a Chevy 1500, right? Because I know I like this better. Between a Ford and this of the 80s, this I like better, but I didn't like Chevy at the time and I didn't care. But their trucks looked better, in my opinion. I wasn't like a psycho Ford fanboy. I just wasn't. I was a Mustang guy. Some folks need to port their electrical wall sockets with a screwdriver. Alex, we should hit the aliens up for that sauce for our flat plane crank spaceships. Yes, LTD Wagons, Fox Chassis. Who remembers the Taurus S8 show? Let's go. Here it is. Is it worth sleeving a Gen 1 rods and pistons or go Gen 2? If I was going to build a motor, I would start with the Gen 1 block. Has bigger threads on the heads or on the block for the heads. I think 12 millimeter over 11 with Gen 2. So I think, and deeper threads too. So I think Gen 1 is a better platform to build off of than Gen 2. But if you don't want to sleeve, you don't want to build your shit, you want to live in the 850 range or so to 900, Gen 2 will do it. What's up, little man? What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you? You already went out and pissed and shit. You did it all. And you're not hungry, so you're just chilling right now. Oh, you got 20 minutes. Dude, you got 20 minutes. 20 minutes. You want to play? I'll play, little man. I'll play. There you go. We'll be playing with him. Life Back to the Future. These future cars were like body kits. Hybrid Mustang will satisfy the EPA. We're good, Mustang community. That's what I say. I say the hybrid Mustang will satisfy everyone. It'll satisfy you, your power needs, your hot rodding needs, your tweaking needs, your tuning needs, and the EPA. But I don't know if they're going to do that or not. Oh, come on, little man. RoboCop Taurus, exactly. Like Back to the Future, already got that. 80s Ranger was, oh my God, the 80s Rangers was trash. And the S10 looked phenomenal. The S10 of the 80s was better looking than the Ranger of the 80s. Hey, Alex, how's the family? Asshole. Do you think there will ever be a mid-engine Mustang, and would you buy one? I already said that. Yes, I've said that about 1,000,000 times. I had an 84 Mercury Marquis wagon. That was a Fox body. Someone needs to make a stick shift electric car. They already make that. They make a stick shift electric. Well, they don't make a stick shift electric car, but you can convert an old car to a stick and have an electric motor like a crate situation. Ouch. Cuban, I think Pappy's Garage and Temecula can get some, but I think am I wrong? Okay. Still better looking than the Lightning. Oh my God. I don't understand people that like Gen 1 Lightning. Okay, the Gen 1 Lightning is better looking than the Shamu Lightning, but they're both trash. I hate the Lightning, anything truck, racy stuff. What do you have on Mamalona? Because I was trying to help Jake promote his kit. I went and bought a $35,000 truck to help my friend. Did you think I wanted a Mamalona? Fuck no. Did I want to buy one to help Jake promote his kit? Yes. If that kit doesn't happen, I sell the Mamalona. Bye-bye. Or throw a Vortec on it. You know? The Ranger Splash. Again, getting to know some cars that I didn't even know existed, said JD Swag. That's a nice thing. There's a lot of young guys in here that were fascinated with some of the vehicles that were around in the 80s. They're like, that was a thing? Did you guys know there was a Ford Tempo all-wheel drive car? A sedan that was all-wheel drive? The Tempo had the Ford Tempo was a complete pile of trash, but they had an all-wheel drive variant. They definitely did. When you say hybrid, describe actually how you would picture it. Okay. A motor and battery pack that is charged by the braking system and generally regenerative braking, meaning when you let off the gas, it actually slows the car down, and that causes the battery of the motor to charge up. And then at under 20 miles an hour, the electric motor does all the work, and after that turns on and fucking scoots and gets it. Or the gas motor is always on, and the electric motor uses it like a booster, like a torque booster at 75% throttle. You know what I mean? So let's say the electric motor, you have 100 horsepower on tap. And then when you accelerate and you give it more than 50 to 60% throttle, this thing just kicks on and goes whoop. And it does it from a dead stop depending on throttle. So anything more than 70% throttle, you have electric motor for 5-second boost until it recharges the battery pack with regenerative braking or braking in general. All right, in a 3.5 twin turbo setup. And I think the electric motor should run the front wheels, and the twin turbo hybrid, or the twin turbo motor should run the rear wheels. Look, we showed you that Ford has a patent for a patent application for a 4-wheel drive Coyote system in a car with an electric motor mounted in the front. Guys, it'll be interesting. Mercury Topaz. Alex, is it possible to tune hybrids, or would it trash the entire warranty? I don't know. When you say, I already got that. We're planning to go to SCT Bradenton in February. Care to attend? I'll be there. Fuck yeah, I'll be there. Absolutely. I might even bring the stupid GT500 if it runs a 7 to get my ass beat, but who cares? My mom traded a Tempo for a 92 GT. Best trade ever. Ford Tempo and Mercury Topaz. Alex, you should stay at 16 pounds at the track or turn it up a bit. Cuban, if you can... if your car launches, sticks, and it does 16 pounds at the track, can you turn it up after you launch? Meaning same launch boost. And if it cuts like better than a 1.4, like a 1.4 or a high 1.3, leave it like that, but just turn it up out the back and let it eat. 88 Honda Prelude with all-wheel drive. Okay, let's look at the all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive Topaz. Okay, so the all-wheel drive Mercury Topaz. You guys didn't even know this thing existed, but there was legit a four-wheel drive LT what? Yeah, these cars. Mercury Topaz. Some of these came in four-wheel drive versions, and they were actually kind of cool. This is, rust-free four-wheel drive Mercury Topaz. Remember the Eagle? The Eagle cars of the fucking... And did you see how you engage the four-wheel drive? Eagle four-wheel drive car. Remember Eagles? Oh, baby, take me back. Shit, bro. I used to see these bitches everywhere as a kid. Everywhere. A four-wheel drive Eagle SX4. The Eagle American 4x4 Pioneer. Guys, these were everywhere. And to this day, you can still see them rocking. These were way ahead of their time. It's like a tall... Basically, it's a tall four-wheel drive station wagon, a.k.a. a hybrid. This is, in my opinion, what they thought the future was going to be like, and they were right. A four-wheel drive station wagon, a.k.a. a hybrid. No different than a, what do you call the Honda, what's the Honda one? The RAV4. This yells RAV4. This yells... mommy, soccer mom. Look at this thing, bro. And the way you engage the four-wheel drive system was fucking retarded, bro. This bitch was carbureted, son. Oh, man. Could you imagine you're a cop and some guy goes into the woods and you can't wait to hit that fucking vacuum lever that enabled the four-wheel drive on this fucking thing? Man, what a car. What a car. Young guys, 21 years old right now, have their minds fucking blown. Because I think young guys think that anything that happened before they were born wasn't really that special. And the coolest shit happened before they were born. Nothing really has changed in the last 20 years in terms of technology. Just like I said, easier to watch porn and technology has gotten smaller. But the cool shit, the leaps and bounds, the 8-track to cassette to DVD to pull out to face-offs to just streaming, that all happened during my lifetime, motherfucker. That's cool looking. Eagle station wagon for the win. AMC, American Motor Company or Motor Car Company. Super late. ¿Qué onda, cut? Unleaded Octanium versus Boostane. Unleaded Octanium versus Boostane. I don't think it matters. Who cares? Just octane booster. Throw that bitch in and don't overthink unleaded versus leaded. This is all new to me. I knew the 80s was Ford, AUS, and Holden. The Honda Cross Tour Accord, exactly the Honda Cross Tour or the Subaru Outback. That thing was basically the Subaru Outback. My mom had a four-wheel drive Eagle, and it was embarrassing to ride in it, but it was a beast. Love boost, smaller pulley and supercharger, larger crank pulley. So true, bicho, says Mr. Parra. I had a Tempo V6 4-door 5-seat manual for a winter beater. I'm waiting for a car manufacturer to build a Homer Simpson concept car. So the closest thing to the Homer Simpson concept car was probably a Crown Vic wagon, right? A Crown Vic wagon or a Delta 88 was probably the closest thing that we ever had to what Homer built in The Simpsons, right? It's very close, but look at the woody on this bitch, bro. This was in 1988. That's right, guys. This, at one point in my life, looked futuristic. When this fucker started coming around, I thought it was a spaceship. Guys, as a kid, I thought I was 18, 19 years old when this thing came out. I thought I was a fucking spaceship because we went from this to this to this. I mean, we went from absolute trash. Now, I think Delta 88s, was there a Delta 88 wagon? I think there was a Delta 88 wagon. I think the door, oh, holy fucking crap. Look at this thing. Do you know the size of this thing? The weight of the door in the back? And how many of you remember these cars having seats in the back that faced backwards? Do you guys remember the rear seats in some of these that faced backwards? What you know about that, bit? The kids were looking backwards. You get in this bit, that bitch was looking backwards. And you're driving and you see some kid looking at you and you're like, holy shit. And look, you could put a whole fucking sheet of plywood in this motherfucker. I'm telling you. Man, the 80s were great. You guys don't know shit. Kids still whip behind the ears. Look at this. Look at how good that looks. Shit. Bro. Seats facing the wrong way. Barely a seatbelt. Man, what a good time to be alive. Kids think they got cool shit nowadays. What you know about backward facing seats in a Delta 88 wagon? Some folks need to already got that. I had a 94 GMC Black Sierra GT stepside with a 350 engine and a 5-speed manual. Remember when the Ford Probe first came out? I thought it was the end of times. When the Ford Probe GT was introduced, I'm like, this literally looks like a flying saucer. They did make those facelift Crown Vic wagons, Caprice Roadmasters wagons. Yes. I just rode in the trunk of a wagon, no seats. Yes, you can see where you are about to get rear-ended. I remember the rear-facing seat, the minivan of the 80s. Holy crap, the nostalgia is too real, man. I used to get sick, no rears, no, exactly. You're driving backwards, basically. If you're looking out the back of the car and dad decides to avoid a fucking raccoon, you'd puke because you'd get fucking seasick. Car sick. Chevy Chase, the family truckster, but the Maverick is the future. That's the problem. We've gone full gay. Now, for those of you in your 20s, do you understand why we old guys say we've gone full gay? We've gone full gay with the Maverick, with, I don't know, some cars that are just going backwards in time. In terms of small trucks, that was called a Ranger, ugly little Ranger, a little Mazda B2000. Remember the Mazda B2000? People stuffed rotaries in them? Bro, I'm telling you, bro, the 80s and 90s had the weirdest, coolest. Everyone was on cocaine back then. Everybody was on cocaine. Every designer, every engineer was fucking coked up. And they were designing cool-ass fucking cars. The Pro was supposed to be the Mustang's replacement. I remember that for a while they were like saying, hey, this is going to be the Mustang's replacement. And people revolted. People just lost their freaking minds. Subaru Brat with the seats in the bed. You remember the Subaru Brat? Do you guys know what a Subaru Brat is? For the young kids in the crowd, the Subaru Brat. I saw this in the neighborhood and I'm like, is this legal? They legit had basically a car truck. This is the Maverick. This is a Maverick. For those of you that think a Maverick is special, this is a Maverick. And this bitch had seats, jump seats with handles. That's right, guys. This thing had seats with handles in the back. Bro, you were psycho to drive. Look at the handles, bro. I mean, could you imagine getting... Oh, some guy did a General Lee version. I don't know how he don't get killed. This thing had seats in the back. 87 Subaru Brat. Man, look at this. Wow. Cool. I mean, imagine growing up and all these cars were on the road at the same time. A Delta 88 wagon, a Brat, a Suzuki Samurai. Remember the Suzuki Samurai? The really tiny fucking SUV, 4x4, the Jeep competitor. Do you guys remember the Suzuki Samurai? Come on, let's get the Suzuki Samurai. The Suzuki Samurai, you know what Puerto Ricans did with it? They put rotaries in them. That's right. Puerto Ricans took this, lowered it, mini-tubbed it, and put rotaries in it. Like that. That's exactly what Puerto Ricans did to these things. They were absolutely psycho and made them drag Suzuki Samurais. And they put rotaries in them bitches, bro. Those guys are psycho. Cool little truck. Tiny little thing. Man, what the fuck? Alex, I didn't know anything about these cars. This is like educating people on old cars. Wow, says JD. JD Swag didn't know about these cars. I have 7 brothers and sisters when we grew up on Caprice wagons in the 80s, so we piled in. Backwards seat was when the whole family was in, but otherwise, we all just piled in the back seats. You removed the light, putting whatever tore off in the back. Mid-engine 68 Mustang Fastback pushing 1,500 horsepower would be sick. What's he talking about? Samurai was dope in mud holes. Chevy Monza, Geo Metro. They made big and small. Did you know that there was a Datsun, not a 210, but there was a Datsun, and it was a tiny little Escort-looking Datsun that had a 7-speed transmission, and it was high-low. You put it in low, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, then you go, and you go back to 1, and that's 5, 6, 7. Unreal. My dad had one. Fox Body was the last great hatchback. See, that's funny way to say turbo GT40. Okay. Would you be arrested for child abuse if you put your kids in the back of a Brat today? No. In Florida, and I don't know about your state laws, but in Florida, you could be on the back of a pickup. Do you know how many Mexicans, Nicaraguans, Ecuadorians are in the back of going on the highway 80 miles an hour on the back of like landscaping trucks, and they're just there like this? No seatbelt, no nothing. They're just, cops don't pull them over. Remember the Pontiac Fiero? Yes, we know about the Fiero. That's not that. We all knew about the Fiero. Stop it. I'm trying to think of weird 80s and 90s vehicles. The Fiero was very well known because it literally caught on fire and the name was Fire. I almost died in a Suzuki Samurai. You're pulling on some heartstrings. Rear facing seat was like riding in the back of a school bus, flipping off, harassing other drivers as a kid. Exactly. The Chevy Lumina van was futuristic, rotary Samurai. When the first RX-7s came out, if you had that, you were baller. Yep, in the louvers. Look, when the first RX-7s came out, first they made them sound a certain way. Not RX-8. Remember the RX-2s? You guys don't remember RX-2s. No fucking way you guys remember RX-2s. If you remember RX-2s, you're old. But the RX-2s were a thing. But they were 70s vehicles. But remember, guys, I am 43 years old. So a lot of Puerto Ricans had RX-2s in the hood. Rotary, and these are Australian vehicles right now. Not Australian vehicles, but the Aussies have a ton of these. But Puerto Ricans had these things in droves, and Toyota Coronas. That's right, Corona. Like the virus. Toyota Coronas, these little things, they were all over the hood. Toyota Corona, like the virus. Not Corolla. Corona. They were everywhere. Yep. These little guys were all over the place. JDM guys are fucking jerking off right now. Oh, Alex knows about Coronas? Shut up. Shut the fuck up. I was in the hood. I know about them because I was poor. Shut up. The Samurai off clubs are still wild. Straight axle front, indestructible engine, etc. The 88 Delta 88 was 3,800 pounds if it was a small one, but smaller ones, and then Killer Sierra wagons based off the little wagons, right? History repeats for sure. Reminder, when I had an 85 Toyota Supra two-way automatic, unfortunately, I loved the car and hated the transmission. Car is cool looking. RX-2s are awesome. T56 to have fun. Oh, Admiral Peckin is having a completely different thing. Plymouth Laser. I had a Plymouth Laser. That was a nice little car. Basically a DSM, but I had a front-wheel drive Plymouth Laser. Turbo. Great little car. The timing belt tensioner went on it, which was very common, and I drove it like that for like 30,000 more miles. I didn't care. Alex, don't forget the Ford EXP. The Ford EXP was like a big, Escort. And, no, not Explorer. What the fuck? The Ford EXP. My sister had one. She's a cunt. So, yeah. Ford EXP was a very big Ford Escort. right? This is the 40XP Ford's Bold Paper Tiger. Yes. And she had one of these with the really ugly front lights. But these are kind of baller looking. They look like a Mustang. Do you guys notice that the front end in the 80s looked exactly the same on that? Let me go. Ford Tempo, 90s Tempo. Fuck, stupid. Stupid. Why does Google think they know me? Tempo. Images. Do I have to type in Ford? Okay, here we go. And then a 90 Taurus. 1990 Taurus. See? So everything kind of looked the same in the 90s. Everything kind of just looked the same. The same stupid yellow, amber, stupid, you know, nothing. These are three different models. This is an EXP. This is a Tempo. This is a Taurus. And then the Mustang. Then you look at a 1990 Mustang. You know what it looks like, but I just want to show you the side-by-side comparison. These fucking things looked all the same. Like Ford didn't really make that big of a difference in terms of overall design. They kind of stuck to the same thing. The amber on the outer edge. I'm trying to look for a specific angle. There we go. Amber on the outer edge, amber on the outer edge, amber on the outer edge, amber on the outer edge. I mean, they just fucking did the same stupid thing. It's just, I mean, there was nothing special about, you know, the design of those cars. I only liked the Mustang for that reason. Okay, guys, I'm going to get the fuck out of here. It's been an hour. Wanted to get you guys showed you basically some more old cars for you young guys that didn't know anything about the Eagle, the EXP, the Tempo 4-wheel drive, the Samurai, the Brat, the Delta 88 wagon, the rear-facing rear seat. Crazy times to be alive back in the day. I'm going to take a little man out, see if I can get me some complex girl action. And then for those of you that watch the dating channel, I am not promising a show tonight. I'm not feeling all that good. Stomach bug. Basically, I shit my pants every day. So I'm going to see if I can just, you know, not eat and get you guys a show later on. Got a lot to talk about, but we'll see. I'm not going to promise you anything, but I always give you guys a half-hour heads up if I am going to do it. So be on the other channel. Watch to see if I schedule something later on tonight. If I do schedule it, it'll be 9 o'clock more than anything. And then we'll talk some shit about chicks instead of talking shit about cars. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I will see you guys tomorrow, 5 o'clock, YDBT Daily for the final show of the week. Then we'll do the Peasant Chat on Sunday. All right, guys, have a great rest of your Thursday. See you guys tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard.